Come say, boop your walk on, boop your talk on, boop you say that you love Kojak, and there's a hole in the bucket. Say, dear Liza, I me say Green Bay killing a murder blow. Oh Lord, when I say Big Stone TV for the world, I'm a Papa Kojak say that. A very pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Big Stone Television. Today we continue the series of those icon/legend, those who have gone before us and those who are still here with us. Our series continues with the legendary bass player and slinger, Mr. Boris Gardiner. Although his bass guitar beat at the heart of reggae music for over 20 years, Boris Gardiner still remains a relatively unknown figure, although he has contributed much more to the music than many other far more celebrated performers. Born the 13th of January 1946, the youngest of 3 children, Boris Gardiner's father was a plumbing contractor, and Boris spent his early years in Rallington Town. But when he was 13, his parents were divorced and he moved with his father to Vineyard Town. At 17, he was diagnosed with the heart condition tachycardia and spent some time in hospital. However, within a year of being discharged, he joined Delana Stewart, Richard Ace, and Richard Moss as lead vocalists in the Rhythm Aces, who performed for tourists at a number of hotels and clubs along Jamaica's north coast. The Rhythm Aces were also early pioneers in Kingston nascent recording scene, and during 1962 and 1963, they recorded 1,000 Teardrops, Wherever You May Go, Oh My Darling, Please Don't Go Away, and Christmas for Chris Blackwell's R&B label, Joy Bells for Independence for Studio One, and Together for Lyndon O. Pottinger's Gay Feet label. Although these records proved to be popular, the group disbanded due to lack of financial remuneration. Boris then joined Kes Chin and the Souvenirs, a well-established 14-piece orchestra that included saxophonist Val Bennett in their lineup. The Souvenirs played for the tourists on the North Coast too, and Boris was originally the lead singer. He began to play guitar for the band, and after a while graduated to the bass. Some early examples of his sterling guitar work: Memories of Flora and Don't Speak to Me of Love, which he also wrote, were released on the Premier Records long player Let's Have a Red Stripe Party. When members of the band began defecting to the Caribs in 1964, the Souvenirs broke up and Boris was asked to join Carlos Malcolm's Afro-Cubans. At the time, the Afro-Cubans comprised Carlos Malcolm on trombone and percussion, Derek Ariett on lead vocalist, Carl Cannonball Bryan on saxophone, Trevor Lopez on guitar, Winston Turner on trumpet, Freddie Campbell on drums, and Ardley Williams on bass guitar. steel guitar, and piano. Boris not only sang but also played percussion and danced the bossa nova and the cha-cha. When Artie Williams left the band, Carlos Malcolm took over as bass player. But Carlos not at ease with the instrument and convinced Boris to ease up on singing and dancing to take up the bass again. Boris now learned to read music and soon became sufficiently proficient to sight read and to write the parts for all the members of the band. The Afro-Cubans went to the Bahamas in 1966 and stayed for a year working between Freeport and Nassau. Their next move was to New York, where Boris discovered that he was expected to get another job to subsidize his musicians' wages. He then moved further north to Canada and joined Leslie Butler's house band at Club Jamaica in Toronto. But the harsh Canadian proved to be far too cold for Boris. He returned home to Kingston, where he joined the resident trio at a new club in Crossroad called the Bronco. He began to work as a session musician at Coxsone Studio One on Brentford Road, where, playing alongside Crystallize and Phil Callender, Boris laid the foundation for innumerable memorable rhythms. He fulfilled the same role at Duke Reid's Treasure Isle on Bond Street, where he composed a series of bass lines which have subsequently come to be regarded as classics. In fact, many of Boris' bass lines have become part of the rhythmic vocabulary of reggae music. Boris also freelanced as a session musician for Lloyd Matador Daly, Federal Records, Sonia Pottinger's I Note label, and also played as one of Derek Arias' Crystallites. Elizabethan Serenade, originally composed by Ronald Binge, was first played by Mantovani's orchestra in 1951, and Boris Gardiner updated the song as Elizabethan Reggae 18 years later. At first, the record was erroneously accredited to producer Byron Lee, but this was corrected on later pressings. Elizabethan Reggae was one of the first ever Jamaican records to break through internationally, reaching number 14 in the UK national charts in January 1970. And Boris toured the UK in the spring to promote his hit record while working for Harry J. Johnson. Boris had laid the baseline for another early crossover hit, Bob and Marcia, Young, Gifted and Black, which soared to number 5 on the UK national charts in March 1970. Byron Lee produced and released Boris' debut album, Reggae Happening, but Boris then returned to Jamaica to concentrate on session work and live dates with the Broncos. By this time, the Broncos included Keith Sterling on keyboards and Ox Brown on guitar, and their performances were so impressive that the manager of the uptown Courtney Manor Hotel, Robert Lake Jr., persuaded them to leave the Bronco Club and work for him. The Broncos now became the Boris Gardiner Happenings, and they also played at balls, hotels, nursery, and on political campaigns. Paul Douglas was recruited on drums, and Tinga Stewart was drafted in on lead vocals, and alongside Byron Lee Dragonaires and Lloyd Parks' We the People, the band rapidly established a reputation as one of Jamaica's top live acts. Tinga won the Festival Song Contest in 1974, would play the music, and left the band. Boris then recruited Earl 16 Daly to take over the lead singer's role, who later recalled the Boris Gardiner's Happening as a touristy kind of thing, specializing in the cabaret treatment of current top Jamaican tunes. The Barrett brothers, Aston and Carlton, had left Lee Perry's Upsetters to play bass and drums as member of Bob Marley's Wailers in 1972. Scratch urgently required replacement for his dynamic duo, and he recruited Boris as one of the Upsetters. Earl 16 reckoned that Boris Gardiner was one of the best bass players at the time, with an almost innate ability to play any style of music from calypso to sophisticated soul. Boris Gardiner now made his mark at the Black Ark, fashioning deep, dark rhythms of raw roots reggae. His bass parts were always impressive but understated, and Boris Gardner's extensive upsetter repertoire include countless classics such as Junior Mervin's Police and Thieves and the classical Heart of the Congos long player. In the mid-80s, reggae music moved into the digital era and technology took over center stage. Many observers felt that the day of multi-talented musicians, including Boris Gardiner, were now over. Nothing could have been further from the truth, and Boris, many years with the Boris Gardiner happenings, played for the more relaxed and mellow hotel crowds, were channeled into its biggest crossover hit ever, I Wanna Wake Up With You. This slow, sentimental ballad achieved the #1 position in the UK national charts in July 1986. The follow-up, You're Everything to Me, was similarly inclined and reached number 11 in the autumn of that year. It was followed by Boris' festive record, The Meaning of Christmas, which only managed the lower reaches of the national charts, but proved to be perennial seasonal favorite ever since. Although he has enjoyed 3 major UK chart hits during his long career, Boris Gardiner was inexplicable, still remained in the background. A professional musician and producer, his place has usually been behind whoever the current hitmakers happens to be, and his arrangement and musicianship have provided the solid foundation on which their fleeting success has been built. A permanent fixture in a music fixated with the here and now, his major contribution has been to further the sound of Jamaican music, and it's no exaggeration to say that reggae would have been all the poorer without his outstanding contribution over the years. The legendary, the iconic Boris Gardiner. What a voice, what a bass player he is. And we give thanks to the Almighty God that Boris Gardiner is still here with us today. He is alive and well. I can easily say, Boris, you came, sir, you saw, and you definitely conquered. You gave Jamaican music some of the best music that we can sit back, relax with our girlfriends, and just relax and have a great, beautiful time. Boris Gardiner, your smooth velvet voice can still be heard in I Wanna Wake Up With You. Well, I ain't no Boris Gardiner, but I just want to say to you, sir, in your lifetime, thank you so much for giving us the great music that you have continued to provide years in, years out. You came, sir, you saw, and you're still doing wonderful work for us here in Jamaica and all over the world. Thank you, Boris Gardiner, for a job well done. You are indeed a great, true ambassador to reggae music all over the world. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the legendary, the iconic, the living Boris Gardiner. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share this video. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, now is the time for you to do so. Thank you so much.